Today I want to talk about books. Specifically, what I've read recently, what I'm currently reading, and then what I plan on reading next, potentially. But first, introductions. Hi there, I'm Julie. I make home, lifestyle, bookish type content. I'm also an aspiring author, so you'll kind of get a look inside that as I go through the steps of whatever the heck I'm doing to publish a book. First a short story, then a book. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll stick around. Subscribe, join my tiny little community right now. Also, if you like bookish things, this is gonna be about books. If you like yapping about books, if you like hearing about books, stick around, listen to what I have to say. I love jibber jabbering about books, and I hope you'll comment down below maybe what you've read lately, what you want to read. If any of these books intrigue you, let me know, okay? Thank you. So, my credentials. Who am I to be speaking about books? Besides the fact that I have a full bookcase behind me, I have a full bookcase over there, and I have another full bookcase right here. Besides all that, I have loved reading since I was little, and it's my preferred way to spend my time. When someone asks me what I like to do in my free time, I often tell them that I don't have any free time because I like to read. I spend all my free time reading, so I don't have any free time. That's how I tell people that reading is what I do in my free time. I went to college. I got a bachelor's degree in English, and although I don't have a literary emphasis, I don't have any emphasis at all, it's just English. I do feel like an English degree counts as something, even though it doesn't have a literary emphasis. Like, it's still English, it's still words. I love words. I was also a marketing editor for 4.5 years, and I love words. Like I said, words are my thing. I love language, words, all that. So those are my credentials. Take it or leave it. Okay, so some of the books I've read lately. Do I have any of them near me? No. None that I'm going to try and reach. Okay, that's fine. The first is The Bane Witch by Ava Morgyn. So our morally gray heroine leaves an abusive... I'm reading this, okay? Not sorry. Our morally gray heroine leaves an abusive relationship and searches out for her extended family. She soon finds out that there's something kind of otherworldly about her lineage, and this book is like if a thriller had magic in it with a large dose of poison. Oh, I have it right here. I didn't know I had it sitting right on that shelf. This is The Bane Witch. Love the cover, first of all. So cute. Those come into play. I really enjoyed that book. It's magical realism, right? But it's also a thriller, which, like, thriller has always been one of my favorite genres. Thriller, mystery, suspense, all those. But lately I've really been into magical realism and like historical magical realism. This isn't historical by any means. This is set in present day. But magical realism has really been pulling at my strings here. So I really enjoyed that one. Do recommend reading it, especially if you like powerful women possibly getting revenge on people who have wronged them and people who have wronged, not just people, men who have wronged other women. We'll leave it at that. The next one I want to talk about is The Artist of Blackberry Grange by Paulette Kennedy. And like I said, I've been falling in love with magical realism and historical fiction. And this combines the two. So it's magical realism plus historical fiction. Mwah. Love it. I've never liked historical books, but I don't know, there's something about historical fiction right now that I'm really into. I don't know. But The Artist of Blackberry Grange, I read this on my Kindle, by the way. A young woman, Sadie, moves to an old family home after a failed relationship with a married man who would not leave his wife for her. Okay. To help take care of her great aunt Marguerite. I assume it's Marguerite and not Margaret because it has the E at the end. So I'm going to call her Marguerite. I don't know. Marguerite was a renowned artist and suffering from dementia, but still painted incredible yet haunting portraits. Whatever could that mean? Sadie struggles with not only the daily tasks of her great aunt's medical needs, but also with determining what is reality and what is a hallucination. So Sadie really struggles in this book with knowing what's real and what is the magical happenings of her great aunt's paintings. That's where I'm going to leave it. Really enjoyed this one again. Well, kind of a thriller, honestly, but really enjoyed the magical realism in this one. Here's Knox. Knoxie, hello. Can you sit? Sit, please. Thank you. Oh, that's a very good lay down. I'll pet you, don't worry. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, it's a different twist on the type of magical, like, system that I typically read. And I really enjoyed it, honestly. Okay, the last one I'm talking about, that I've read recently, is Holly by Stephen King. You can see a little snippet up here, but half of this shelf is Stephen King. Stephen King is and has been one of my favorite authors since I was a kid. I probably started reading Stephen King in middle school, which might explain a lot. But specifically, okay, backstory. Holly is the book I'm talking about that I just read recently. But the Bill Hodges trilogy that starts with Mr. Mercedes is my favorite series of books that he has done. Now, if we're talking about favorite book, that's a different question. Favorite series is the Bill Hodges trilogy. Favorite book might be 11/22/63, but that's just like standalone book. Series, the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I call it the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I know it's the Bill Hodges trilogy, but it starts with Mr. Mercedes. One of my favorite books also. But it's always a series that I recommend to people who are like, oh, I want to read Stephen King, but I don't know where to start, because, like, he has a large catalog. But yeah, Bill Hodges trilogy, love it. I read it so long ago now. I think I read it on my Kindle. I do not own the series. That is one series that I really wish I owned. But since he wrote that trilogy, he has written other books that are slightly connected. Basically, it just has recurring characters from the Bill Hodges trilogy, specifically one named Holly. Holly Gibney is her name. So in the book Holly, she is a private investigator with her own business, and she takes on a case of a missing woman that turns into more than she anticipated. And this book is definitely horror. It has some gruesome elements to it that really stuck with me. It was kind of gross at times, but so good. I really enjoy Holly Gibney as a character, and if I remember right, I read something somewhere from Stephen King, or that Stephen King said, basically that he just really enjoyed writing Holly, and he didn't anticipate her having a big role in the Bill Hodges trilogy, but it just kind of ended up that way, and he loved her, other people loved her, and so she gets recurring themes and a book of her own. I really loved this one. So good. Just like with every other Stephen King book. I have not met a Stephen King book that I did not like. Let's move on to what I'm currently reading, and that is Trapper Road. Trapper Road by Rachel Caine and Carrie Ryan. This is book 6 in, I believe, a 7-book series. Possibly more, I think. I don't really know. But it's called Stillhouse Lake. That's the series name. It is easily one of my favorite thriller series I have ever read. I started reading it in 2019. But Rachel Caine, so there are two authors. Rachel Caine is the main author of the series. However, she sadly passed away from a I believe a rare type of cancer while she was in the middle of writing the series. So Carrie Ryan picked up the book series and continued writing it. Like I said, one of my favorite thriller series. It follows a woman whose ex-husband turns out to be a serial killer, And it was by pure accident. You find all this out within like the first chapter or two of the very first book, Stillhouse Lake. So I'm not gonna be, this is not spoilers. I'm not giving it away. I don't do spoilers, okay? I'm very spoiler free. So it was by pure accident that they discovered he was a serial killer. And our main character, she struggles with the public's perception of her, the guilt she feels for not knowing what her husband was doing, and maintaining the safety of her and her 2 kids. Yes, she did not know what was going on inside her own home, which is true. And they have 2 kids. They have a son and a daughter together. Side note, this entire series is on Kindle Unlimited, which is how I have read it. You can also get the books, of course, but Kindle Unlimited saves the day with a 7-book series. This one, so far, very, very good. Just like all of them, I really enjoy them. I love the storyline where it's kind of like something new is going on that they need to like figure out, but also like there's an A plot and a B plot. The B plot is always going to be like how their lives have been affected by the ex-husband being a serial killer. It's so good. I highly encourage you to read the series if you enjoy thrillers. Okay, now, normally I don't plan on what I'm going to read next because I'm a mood reader, and what I think I'm going to read at one point changes. It could be like by the hour, by the day, it changes. But there's one series in particular that I really want to start up this October, and that is the Age of Caine saga by Anthony Scott. It starts with Scorpio Rising. That is the first book. I currently have the first 2 books, and I actually purchased them directly from the author, Anthony Scott, at the Book d'Eau Claire event last month. It was beginning of September, yeah. He actually had a book box, it's up there, with little gifts in it that coincide with parts of the book. So like, I think there's 4 maybe? So at different pages, you get to open a new gift that kind of corresponds with what's going on in the book. And that kind of sold me. And then he gave me a discount on the second book because he's like, oh, there's a big cliffhanger at the end of book 1. And you're really going to want the second book. I'm like, do you put a cliffhanger at the end of every book? He's like, maybe. Like, that's evil. So, I think that's the series I want to start next. It is a 4-book series. So I currently have the first 2. I do not have the 3rd and the 4th yet. I did see they're on Kindle Unlimited, but I really want to own them too. My best friend I know has all 4 of the books, but I could also just purchase them from his website. So we'll see what happens with that. I need 3rd and 4th for sure, because I have a feeling I'm going to read one right after the other. When I met Anthony Scott at his booth at Book d'Eau Claire, first of all, his energy and his love for his books, off the charts. He sold it to me as a queer coming-of-age modern fantasy about a magical school with houses based on the elements of the zodiac. So we've got fire, Aries, fire, water, Scorpio rising, air, and earth. The 4 elements of the zodiac, each of them have their own house. So the reason why I think I'm going to read this one next, because 1, I really want to open up the little gifts. I'm a sucker for little gifts, okay? I really want to open them up. Number 2, I want a cozy fantasy, even if it's magical fantasy, for the fall season. And this feels right. It feels good to me, okay? But I need to end this now. That is what I have read lately and currently reading, and what I plan on reading probably, most likely, next. I hope you found as much joy in this as I did, and if not, that's okay. Maybe my reading preferences just aren't your cup of tea. We don't all need to read the same thing and like the same thing. Totally okay. But I'd love to know what you're reading, or maybe some of your favorite books, maybe some that I haven't read. With that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next one.